So, when you see such kind of a strong, sharp risk, withdrawal coming back from the markets, we expect that the index breaks below the previous major support points. We also look at it this way that in the last, I think, one and a half odd month of the markets moving up higher and then consolidating, we've not seen any two major down, days for the indices. Yes, we've seen a couple of days of consecutive negative close for the index, but they've been very muted in terms of the absolute price action. So this time around, including yesterday's price action and potentially today's price action, I would believe that this could probably be an indicator that we are looking at some risk aversion which is coming back into the market. So wouldn't be surprised if the Nifty actually breaks below the 24,500 mark in the next couple of days.
All right, that's about Nifty. But Kunal, what about Nifty Bank? Because for the past 4 days, this index is just falling. So can we expect deeper cuts on this index? Yeah,
we can expect deeper cuts. So what happens is initially, Srishti, that there's a withdrawal of positions, profit booking which happens into strong sectors, and then comes a point where traders would start to initiate fresh shots into these stocks. So I think we are still into that first initial stages where right now there could be more profit booking. Traders who've been sitting on good profits, 4,000-5,000 points on the Bank Nifty or maybe individual stocks. They would want to just cut out their positions, take the leverage out, reduce the risk into those existing positions. And once the index shows decisive signs of breakdown or a change of view, that's where short position starts to get initiated. So I believe we are still into that initial stages, and that's why the pace of sell-off may not be very, very sharp consecutively for the next couple of days, but I think it will be more gradual. For the Bank Nifty, in terms of supports, I would believe 55,000 is a major support for the Bank Nifty. If we fall below those levels, that's where I would believe that the pace of sell-off would start to accelerate.
Okay, so that's on the entire banking space. But Kunal, what about oil sensitives right now? Because the kind of run-up that we've seen coming in WTI and crude this morning, how are you penciling in this to impact charts like ONGC or HPCL, BPCL, which were doing well in the first half yesterday, but took a sharp knock towards closing?
Yeah, so I think many of the sectors will start to get impacted. So, rate sensitives is the first sector because that's where there was high amount of leverage. Oil marketing companies or oil derivatives, I think that's where we would probably expect the markets to get into that second round of correction. It should be more sharp. It should be more severe. I think yesterday we saw 2.5 or 3% downtick for the likes of BPCL, etc. Maybe I think we could probably see another 3% to 5% correction into these stocks over the near term. So this also tells you that the impending move for these stocks, which was still on the verge of a breakout, that's reversed, which means that these stocks would take a lot of time to try and make a comeback for themselves. So not advising long positions over here, but I think some risk of or some closing of long positions even at current levels is something which traders can do.
Aditya, hi, morning. What stock ideas would you recommend to our viewers?
Hi, morning, Aisha. Given the texture of the market and the fact that SGX is pointing towards a sharp gap down for our markets, I want to buy in a sell. The first one is an Apollo Hospital, which looks interesting. Can be bought for a target of 75.50 with a stop loss at 6775. One needs to see how the stock opens. If it opens flattish to about minor downtick, one can look at a fresh long position in Apollo Hospital for a target of 75.50. Second is a sell call on Hindustan Petroleum. Again, the oil sensitives are going to see a massive correction because of the spike that we are seeing in the crude oil prices due to the geopolitical tensions. So I'm going to sell on Hindustan Petroleum for a target of 375 on the downside with stop loss at 400 on the upside.
Okay, that's the take from Aditya on individual stocks, and that, of course, was a sell on HPCL. But Kunal, what about your stock-specific ideas?
So I'll take a high-risk bet, a sell on BSC. I think for the first time in the last many weeks, we've been bullish on the stock earlier. It's moved up higher, but I think in the last couple of days, we are seeing some strong signs that the stock has emerged into an absolute overbought territory, and we are looking at a reversal of a sort, at least in the near term. So a high risk bet over here, sell with a target of 2,705, stop us at 2785. And the second would be a sell on IGL, something which you were discussing earlier also, that many of these gas stocks have a tendency of showing signs of a breakout, and then immediately the breakouts reversing for these stocks. Similar pattern for IGL this time around as well. The stock is now on the verge of a break below its critical support point, so would look out for 196 as a target, stop us at 207.
All right, so 2 sell calls coming in from Kunal this morning, and BSC will be interesting to watch out for, and IGL as well as HPCL are also some of the selling calls by our experts. So let's watch out for that. But with this, viewers, it's now time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more on the other side.